See, as we are going live, and we are live. Hello, everyone. Hi, ladies. Happy Saturday. Great to see everyone. I have a special guest with me today, Kelly Foxx. Hi, Kelly. Welcome. Welcome. Happy
Hello, thank you.
Saturday. Great to have you here. So Kelly has her own coaching practice. She's an amazing coach. She's a great mom. I need to get tips from her as a mom, as a business owner, and she also has a great Fearless Generations podcast as well that I had a pleasure to participate in as well. So that was really great. But welcome again, Kelly, and yeah, great to have you.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yeah, so let me ask you my first question for you today will be, and usually I ask everyone who participates, the first one is, share with us what makes you unique, what makes you tick, what makes it, and it can be your business, something that's makes you different, makes you unique.
Yeah. Well, I think we all have something unique about us. And that's, how we were raised, how we were brought up, the different things that we've gone through that make us who we are. And so someone can be sharing the same content, but it comes across in a different way because of who we are, right? And I think for me, when I was 15, my father committed suicide, and I deal with mental illness as well. And so I think that definitely comes across in my coaching with a very non-judgmental attitude, as well as real empathy for people and the challenges that they have. I also have 6 kids, and, so I'm dealing with lots of different personalities here in my home. And I think that also supports me in relating to people and really getting them as they share their struggles. And I also have 7 sisters, so I really understand women and dealing with different situations and things that go on in women-to-women relationships as well as in families. And so I think that's unique about me for sure. But I also address fear. I'm a fearless living certified coach, and fear is really the root of everything that is going on with us that we don't like or enjoy or feel stuck about. Fear is the reason that we have that. And so really getting to the root of what's going on with you and why you're feeling stuck or why you're feeling like you're not progressing or achieving the goals that you have. It's fear, and getting to that root, can really support you in moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Yeah, that is so true. Fear. And sometimes I feel like we don't really recognize that it's fear that's stopping us. Yeah. Until we look into it and really truly be honest with ourselves and ask ourselves, what is it? And then we dig deeper and then we realize, wow, that's what, I know I've done that, but that's so true. And I love, it's beautiful. You have such big families and 7 sisters. I didn't know you have 7 sisters and 6 kids. That's so great. I come from a big family as well, 4 of us I have 3 siblings, and I just love big families. I think it's so, it's awesome.
Yes, I have 1 brother too, so there's 9 of us total.
Awesome. I love it. Beautiful. That's beautiful. So I want to ask you about the goals. So as this is a perfect time for, as we reflecting on this year, how we have done this year. And it doesn't have to be a business. It could be, in personal lives, right? Where we reflect on everything, what we've done this year, whatever goals we had, as we reflect and as we moving forward, making plans, making goals, going forward. What do you recommend when it comes to goal making, and what is some of the main thing that you would want to highlight?
Yeah, I think this year has been so different, right? Than anything any of us have ever experienced. And a lot of us may have made goals at the beginning of 2020 that did not come true, right? Because it just wasn't possible with everything that's happened this year. And so there might be some hesitation to make goals for 2021, because will they be able to happen? Will they be able to be possible? And I think that a lot of people are kind of just sitting and waiting to see what's going to happen. But I think the important thing is to make those goals. And if they don't happen because of the shutdown or different things like that, you know, it's still important to make them, right? Yeah. For us to look to the future and to tell ourselves what it is that we want to happen. And I think a lot of people have experienced a shift or a pivot, right? A lot of people are using those words this year. And it's also an opportunity to look at those goals that we had in 2020. How were we able to shift or pivot those goals and still have them happen in 2020? And how can we continue to be creative in 2021 if this lockdown continues, right? I know for me, with Fearless Generations, as you talked about, we have a podcast, and we also have we do workshops, and usually these workshops are live, and so we were able to start doing them online, and it was this amazing experience because people from all over could attend them, not just people who were able to, you know, travel to where we were having it. And so that was really exciting. You know, we had people from Arizona and Massachusetts and Wisconsin all in the same, you know, workshop, supporting each other and getting to know these tools and these skills to help them to be more fearless. So, you know, how can we get creative in still applying what we do and what we love into the current situation? So I think the most important goal that we can do right now at this time and going into this, continuing in this uncertainty, is to really concentrate on who we are and how we want to show up in 2021. Do we want to show up as someone who is only seeing what we can't do? Or do we want to show up as someone who is seeing, how can I make this happen in the current situation? You know, do I want to be someone who connects more? Do I want to be someone who slows down more? Do I want to be someone who, you know, really concentrates on my self-care and giving myself that time and attention that I haven't been, right? So I think that those are the goals that are really important that we set first. Instead of maybe I want to make this amount of money, or I want to have this many events, or I want to, you know, I don't know, lose weight, or unless that's self-care, right? You know, but those type of goals that we might set for our personal life or our business normally, to have more of a goal of how do I want to show up? Who do I want to be? Because I think that has been an awareness that most people have come to this year, because they've had to slow down and, you know, enough to be aware of how they are reacting to life, how they are making certain choices or not making certain choices that have put them in the situation they're in, or showing up as the person they're showing up. And that's definitely one thing that I have done. It's kind of taken the blinders off of those areas that I've been avoiding to look at, because we're in this different situation where we're all, you know, isolating, and our families are in our homes, and we have a whole lot of extra time, you know, able to sit and to reflect.
So true. So true. And this year has just been such an interesting year, right? Yeah. And I couldn't agree with you more, you know, with people pivoting and using those words. And as much as some of us had to really pivot in our businesses and personal lives too, a lot of people, I think, also rediscovering themselves, which is a good thing. So seeing additional opportunities. Whoa, like I haven't seen this before. How, or maybe stepping up more into their power, what they truly want to do, using this opportunity. So it's so interesting. But yeah, I completely agree. So how do we stay committed next year? Like how, you know, and we don't know what next year brings, you know, the situations are. And I think this year really definitely, of course, made each one of us stronger. It helped all of us come together. It's just, it's beautiful to watch the things, you know, when communities, you know, so many communities, you know, great positive communities have been built because of what's happening. And, but how does one stay committed to that goal?
Yeah.
What would be the key? What would be your key suggestion as to when they have that goal and whatever next year brings?
Yeah. Yeah. I love that you asked that, because I think that's kind of where any kind of resolution, right, kind of gets lost, you know, come February, right?
Right.
And I think that it's being really clear on why you want to show up that way and how you're going to show up that way. So what are actual things that you're going to do, and setting goals to support that intention that you're setting for how you want to show up. So if how you want to show up is, you know, being more open to possibilities, or sorry, I should have turned my phone off. Being open to possibilities, you know, then what are goals that you can set to support you showing up that way? And then how can you support yourself in achieving those goals? So daily practices that you can see that you're doing that support you in that intention. So, you know, my intention is to be more connected with my kids in this coming year, to really be tuned in to what's going on with them, because I know that this situation has really just thrown up so much stuff for them, right? Completely out of their routine, not going to school, not hanging out with friends in person, right? Their lives completely being on their phones or their computer, right? So that they can get connection or education, as well as their entertainment, right? So, you know, really dialing in with them. Now, what can I do to support that? You know, my goals are to, you know, have daily time with each of them, to get to know what their interests are, to, you know, have that quality time as a family, and make sure that we're staying connected with fun, right? Like I got some new board games, and we've been getting those out and playing them and having fun as a family. Having movie nights where we're cozy in the bed watching movies together, right? Like these simple acts that just take a commitment to the time, right? And so because I can measure that, right, I can see myself taking those actions. I can write those actions down and, you know, like celebrate that I did them. That's going to keep me staying committed to that goal, because I'm going to see that I'm doing it. I'm going to see the effects of it in my children and my family, and I'm going to see the effects of it in myself, which is going to give me confidence to keep doing it, right? And so I'm going to stay committed because I see the results and I feel the results and I'm celebrating the results. And so it keeps me on that path to staying committed to how I want to show up and where I want my priorities to be.
I love that suggestion. You know, definitely, with my daughter as well, going through, you know, staying at home, and like you said, yeah, she's, you know, it's been different for them, and I think it's even harder for them, of course. Like we adults are dealing with this situation, trying to maneuver our businesses, our family, and for kids, it's, you know, what they have to go through with their growth and all this adjustments. It's a great suggestion, you know, having this more, and I definitely I know I was telling myself also, having this more time, getting to really know, is so important. Yeah. So I have to definitely put that one as well on my list.
Yeah, I think, I mean, because their skill level or their experience level is a lot less than ours, right?
Exactly.
But also they have experience in things that we don't, right? Like the world they live in is not the world we lived in when we were their age, right? So we can actually learn from each other. And my girls love teaching me things and like shifting my perspective of what things are. When I was 12, like my 12-year-old, like the things that affect her did not ever affect me, right? And so as I talk to her, I get to know what she's going through and what her reality is, because my 12-year-old reality was not that. My 42 reality is not that. So getting to know her and what her fears are, better equips me to know what skills I can teach her or share with her so that she can deal with her reality, better. Didn't happen, I would be oblivious to that, right? I wouldn't even know what to share with her or how to help her. I could just be throwing skills at her and she doesn't have any idea how to implement them in her life. So that's another benefit to my focus or my intention for this time right now, right? And that's also something that's measurable, and that you can acknowledge yourself for going into those possible difficult conversations, because I definitely have had some difficult conversations with my teenagers, and they're not always comfortable and they don't always like your opinion and they don't always like what you say, and it's dealing with how they're getting mad and how they don't want to talk to you anymore, and then how do you have that conversation again, so there's lots of things that come into it that could discourage us from being on that path. And so it's important that we remember the why to our intention. And maybe it takes writing it down so that we see it. Because I know for me, out of sight, out of mind. So if I don't write it down, I can get distracted with all of the other stuff going on in my head and all the other responsibilities that I have. And I forget that I set that as an intention and why I set that as an intention. And so those are other things that we can do to support ourselves in showing up in the way that we want to show up.
Yeah, that's so great. I feel like you and me could have definitely good chat on when it comes to, and I could learn from you how, the conversation that you're having. I think you have such a vast, experience and richness. And when it comes to mom and kids, from what you're telling me, when it comes to mom and kids communication, and exactly that, right? They don't like what we tell them, and it's the hardest work I've ever done.
Absolutely. I agree.
But
sure.
It's so great. Yeah, thank you, Kelly, for those tips. I feel like you have this vast knowledge and wisdom that you can share with a lot of moms when it comes to this communication, this vital communication with kids.
It's not even just with our kids. It can be with our partner or our coworkers or our parents or our friends, right? Working on communication skills is something that you can improve across the board. And as you work on them, like as I work on them with my kids, it's going to roll over into these other areas of my life as well. And that's one of the really great things with practicing something, because when you get better at it in one area, it's going to automatically get better in other areas.
Yeah, that's great. This is great. So in conclusion, as we are concluding today, this was so great. Just new insights and tips. This has been great. So in conclusion, if you could share with us if you have any events coming up, and I know we're going to share links in the comments to your podcast, to your website, to your events. But if you have anything coming up you want to share with us.
Yeah, we actually have a workshop coming up December 5th. So not too far away, where we're actually going to be talking about intentions and how to write an intention and how we can shift our language to really support and empower us, and how we can use that language in our intention and in living our intention. And that's what I've been talking about today. So if you like to learn more about that, how to create one that really empowers you and motivates you to act on it, then I would love to have you come to our event December 5th. And it's going to be 10 to 1 Pacific time. And you can find out about that on our website, which is fearlessgenerations.org. And I keep saying we because I have a partner who's also a fearless living coach, and she is my mom.
Yeah.
So we do this together and help you fight the fear regardless of your age, and how the generations are similar and how we're different.
Yeah, great partnership there. I love it. Well, thank you. And again, we're going to share the links. Again, thank you so much, Kelly, for joining us today, for sharing your tips on goals as we are concluding this year. And I hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving week with family, with close ones, lots of love, lots of gratitude. And I will come back and I'll see you next Saturday. Thank you so much, Kelly.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.